Can you at least say, ladies and gentlemen, your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device while you're wearing that? That's what I
Yes,
want to
I
know.
can.
We can do anything, and he's the one that takes the blame for it then.
Think about that. I'm also the one that does all the editings.
He can chop you together to say the darndest things.
Kind of like Sesame Street.
Boom.
And here we are.
Episode 22.
I'm glad you keep going, Scott.
Talk around town.
I can't count that high without taking off my shoes.
That's only because it's in the scrawler at the top above us, so I can see it. Otherwise, I'd forget too. What episode are we on? Who knows? Who knows? But glad to have everybody with us today.
Yes. And today we've got Mr. Preston Sprawl, the one and only drummer for Shadowlife.
Yes. One of my favorite drummers of all time. Flamboyant, crazy behind the kit. Wears some of the greatest costuming I've ever seen.
That's right. I mean, you got to look at the shirt today. I mean, just look at that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Tommy Lee has nothing on him when it comes to costuming.
That's right.
It gets crazy.
I'm missing the mayhem tattoo, though.
Yeah. Well, so, Geoff, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. I thought, we'd
have
my
favorite line.
I know. It always is. Well, we talked about having Preston on a couple of times, and I was in Shadowlife, and he just made a big announcement a week or two ago about what's going on with them. So I thought, what better way to promote what's going on with Shadowlife than to have Preston on and tell us a little bit about it.
Right from the horse's mouth.
Yes, sir. We want to know. We're inquiring minds. We want to know, and we want to know about you too. We want to know about all your fun-loving music history and stuff.
Well, I've been playing for about 35 years on stage, and I actually got started on stage playing country and southern rock because that was the only thing paying at the time. There wasn't much of a market for rock bands and stuff, and so I kind of cut my teeth on the stage with that and kind of went from there. The problem with me was, as far as the rock drummers and stuff like that, is that I'm self-taught. I learned on shoeboxes and skillet lids in my bedroom when I was growing up, and wooden spoons, things like that, and so there's a lot of things that other drummers do that either I cannot do or I can do, but I do it a lot harder way than what they do. I'm sure there's a lot of easier ways to do some of the things I do. I just never learned, and at this stage in my life, I'm so old, you probably couldn't teach this old dog any new tricks anyhow.
Geoff, we talk about firsts on the show. I don't think any drummer has ever described his upbringing as shoeboxes and skillet lids.
No, I think this is definitely a first.
It is a first.
Stay tuned. I got all kind of firsts for you.
All right. So yeah, you do some great stuff, and I've seen you play numerous times. I mean, I took in tons of Shadowlife shows in my day, and you do have a unique style. And I'm going to say this, it didn't always match the band. I mean, there was times that I would look up there and I thought, man, is this guy, he's kind of lost in the 80s somewhere playing his music. He's got this outfit on and all that. And then you had the other guys doing other things, but it worked. And people loved you, man. They loved your style and all that when they'd come out. And you had a big fan base besides just the band having a good fan base. So that, you said you went way back in time with this. When did you really start all this playing? You said 35 years ago, but what made you get out and play live in front of people is what I want to know.
About everybody from my age limit, their best their best group from back then was Kiss, and so I used to watch Kiss concerts and videos and all like that, and I said, you know what, I want to do that. And so then I just went from there.
What do you think, Geoff?
That's how it starts, right?
The rest is history.
I know. I think so many people have told me that Kiss has always been such a big influence for them getting into music and how much they've done. Man, if they would just keep touring and not have final tours all the time, wouldn't it be great if they could just keep playing?
Kiss is a show, man. Kiss you can learn from for I think the stage factor, the production factor, and all that more than you can sometimes the vocals or that with them. They were at best sometimes mediocre in that aspect, but man, their production was like none other. Became crazy.
I was a big Extreme fan. Probably my favorite band of all time was Triumph. I was a big Triumph freak. More from late 70s to early 80s, and then that's pretty much where my interest dropped. You know, like when I say I'm stuck, you can tell by the hair and everything. I am very comfortable in my 80s persona.
There you have it, people.
You hold on to that well. So
yes. Well, somebody's
got it down pat.
Somebody's got. I lost my 80s hair, and Geoff, I'm not sure where your hair's at right now. Is it?
I don't know.
I'm thinking a little more 90s to me. It's
probably a little more 90s. After the big hair tease days of the 80s, after the glam band. That's
Preston,
probably where it is.
If you look when Geoff first joined Shadowlife at some of the earlier pictures, when his hair just got to the point where he decided, I think I'm going to let it grow long. And it kind of had the mix between the Dorothy Hamill right here and then the flip out of the old David Cassidy.
Well, that's because I had just, when I joined Shadowlife, I was just retiring, because I actually retired in August of 2016, and I joined Shadowlife right about that same year, wasn't it? Oh no, I joined it. Or was it 2014? Gosh, it's been so long now, I can't even keep track.
I have to throw a disclaimer in. Let me throw a disclaimer. Kids that are watching, look up the Dorothy Hamill haircut. Okay, just look it up online. You'll
My parents are gonna love this.
You'll understand completely. Okay, Dorothy Hamill was a skater, but she had a sensational hairdo that everybody jumped on back in the day. So just look it up. Look it up. It's kind of like vinyl. If you don't understand what vinyl is, look it up, kids.
Yes, correct.
Because our viewers, can be a little young, just like Geoff.
That's right.
Yeah.
We found out today that he started school basically a year after I graduated. So that's sizing it all right up.
I think Scott. I think you and I, Scott, will do the talk, and we'll just let Geoff take notes and learn about the past.
Yes,
that's it. Okay. So when I was learning to write and read, and Preston just started in a band.
Preston, don't you think the 80s were the greatest musical era ever? That's going to be my disclaimer. Some of you are not going to like that, but I think the 80s had great music.
Oh, yes. And I would say late 70s into the 80s. And then I kind of kick with people because I say minus the keyboard rock, because there was a lot of keyboard rock and stuff in the 80s that
the synthesizer music.
Yeah,
that's right. We built
guitars.
This city.
MTV promoted. Yes.
Yes. We built this city on keyboard rock. Yes, we did.
Although I will say, I didn't mind Asia. Asia was a good band, and that's about all Asia was keyboards. But other than that, I was pretty much, let's get some hard pounding drums and in your face guitars and fling the hair all over the place and blow something up.
That's my kind of music. How about you?
How
about you, youngster?
You know what? To be honest with you, I loved the 80s. I loved the 80s music. That's when I started playing drums, and I grew up playing not some of the stuff that Preston, probably played. He played the earlier 80s, but I mean, I played the hair metal stuff. I played Motley Crue and Poison and Guns N' Roses and Slaughter and all of those things. I mean, I lived on that stuff. And the funny thing is now that my son's playing drums, that's the stuff he's talking about songs. He's like, oh, this Poison song, it's so good. It was on this album. Didn't you remember it? And I'm like, No, that was after I kind of quit listening to it as much, and got out of it. So here my son is at 15 years old, is telling me about new stuff from the 80s that I even missed out on. But I grew up on that stuff. I love it. I think it's great.
Preston,
go ahead.
I just think we ought to do a show with Geoff and dress him up in the glam attire. Get the makeup going, and we could Aquanet his hair. I mean, think about that. Yes, we're going to the 80s, Geoff.
Let's think about this. And I might have to pop a picture or two up on here from the times when we had some 80s shows, and all I really had to do was go to my closet. They're like, well, where did you get this outfit? I'm like, from my closet. But
you had to go deep in the closet for that.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Deep. Let's go ahead, Preston.
I was just going to say one thing that I had done, going on Geoff's comment about some of the stuff that we'd played, is that when I was actually learning, I would put it on a station that played a lot of variety, and I would just play everything that came on the radio, including the commercials, and just played along with it to try and be able to get versatile at about everything that was up there. And I think that kind of helped a lot. I don't want to say I have any kind of style or anything like that, but it just helped to be able to jump up if somebody was going to play something that you could sit in and play with whatever they were going to do.
Got it.
I mean, that's a great way to do it too. I mean, some musicians don't do that. I think they like their genre, they stick to their genre. They don't venture out. I think a lot of people now are starting to get out of their comfort zone, because that's kind of what the music scene's done. It's kind of forced people to get out of their comfort zone. But I played with a guitarist years ago who was, a shredder. Everything was really fast picking and really loved the heavy metal stuff. And we would do things like Boston. We would play some of those songs, and he was like, that actually made me a better player. He goes, I would never in a million years play some of these songs. And he's like, and it forced me to change my playing style, and it made me a better guitar player. So, I mean, that's awesome that you do the same thing, that you did that. So then you can just sit in and fill in for anybody.
I love these self-taught too. I mean, that to me, a lot of drummers, I think, develop their style and they play and they are self-taught in some aspects because they just sit behind the kit and learn. But to take it from no lessons and start playing on boxes and stuff and then move up, and Preston, you're an excellent drummer. I mean, I always loved the Shadowlife show because of that pounding drums and all that went on. I thought that was really the cool part of that. And face melting guitar solos, not to mention the guy that was singing lead.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah, what happened? I think we lost Preston. I think
Preston's gone again.
I think he froze up, Geoff.
Oh man, we scared him off. He's like, I'm out of here.
Hate it when that happens, but you're back.
And he's back.
Hey, there we go.
All right, let me.
And it sounds good.
There we go. Yeah, you're good right there.
The picture's still not the best quality. Oh wait, that's just you.
That's just Preston. Man, you're a hard group to get along with. So
I know. You know what? I'm gonna make you work for this interview today.
Yeah, he's gonna edit a lot.
Yeah.
All right. While we've got him up and running, let's keep going. Let's talk about the new project a little bit. Let's talk about the old project becoming a new project, so to speak.
Well, without giving too much away,
secrets.
That's right. I would like to say that I wanted to bring Shadowlife back to where it was when we started up. A little less of the newer stuff, a little more variety, some of the older rock and all like that. And I thought, you know what? A good way to do that, to comprise the new Shadowlife with all old Shadowlife members. That's basically the way I want to put it right there, is that the new lineup of Shadowlife is going to be with old Shadowlife members.
Oh man, you just gave everything away.
I'm not giving names. I'm not giving anything like that yet, but
well, there have been a lot of people, so I guess you can leave people wondering, because there's been It's been a constant lineup change, I guess you could say, because you guys have been around for a long time. I mean, I didn't join till, was it 2016, 2014? We talked about that earlier. I can't remember. I mean, you've had several different different singers, different guitar players, different bass players.
Yeah, we've been around. I can't remember if it's 13 or 17 years, but we've been around for a while.
And you're an original.
Yes.
So are we going back to our roots in music? Are we going back to those days of Aquanet and spandex, or late 70s, or where are we going to be?
Well, when Shadowlife first came out, we were doing, like I said, everything from AC/DC to ZZ Top and everything in the middle. And we want to kind of keep it that way. We still want to do some of the country stuff, some of the hip hop stuff, like what we did before, but bring back the stuff for us old fogies. There's lots of bands out there that are playing, to the younger generation, and that's all fine and good. The only problem with when you start getting my age and all like that, people like going home like around 11 or 12 o'clock. So you need earlier shows.
So you heard it here first, everybody. It's the Blue Plate Special Shadowlife, playing from 4 to 6 every day.
That's right.
Yeah, so they can get home and get in bed, get their Geritol and all that stuff done, and
come into a Stuckey's near you.
I love it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tapioca Tuesday at the home. There we'll be
that's
playing.
Right.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I mean, I'm glad to hear that you're doing some things, and we missed you the last year, Preston. You've been down. You had some surgery, man. You've been not able to play and all those things, and it's been a tough year. And luckily, I mean, for you, kind of the COVID went together with that, I guess. So the opportunities for bands to play were minimal to begin with, but you lost a year of your playing time, and at our age, that's not good. You can't do it.
It is, and I've been at home. I have one of my electronic sets set up so that I could start getting back into the swing of things and start working the arm and all. Just try and get the stamina built back up. When we did a 4-hour show, especially the first set, was an hour and 20 minutes or so. And when we went on there playing, I didn't stop too often because we pretty much like to feed one song into the next. And it took a long time to build up the stamina to do that. And so that's what I'm working on now again.
Yeah, because some of the last shows we played, even, I know we had conversations after we played them. It was that Saturday right before St. Patty's Day.
World Patty's.
Yeah. When everything canceled.
Yeah, and that was the last one. And you said that show in itself was brutal. And I remember that because I don't even think we took a break. I think we maybe took one break that night.
Yeah.
And you just played straight through, and we just kept cranking them out all night long. So that way we wouldn't lose a crowd. And
well, and before he goes on, I want to let everybody know, Sadistic Geoff, is that when he would make the set list, he would go and try and put, 5 or 6 really fast songs together.
You got to keep people up dancing, right?
Right. And then look back when they're like, "Are you slowing down? You need a drink?" And just keep on going. So yes, that's our lovely Geoff.
10 in a row at 160 beats a minute.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Ready, go.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about before Geoff came on today, Preston, was that he's that singer we'll talk about. The singer who just brings his microphone to the show and walks on stage.
Sometimes.
I wish.
Yeah, and the drummer's setting up a kit, the poor guys are rolling sound in, and all this, and the singer, he's out doing his hair. And
that used to be those were the days. I used to love it. And then somebody said, "Hey, you should play guitar." Okay. And then, "Hey, you should play electric guitar and acoustic guitar. Hey, you should bring a keyboard too."
Yeah.
And before you know it, I had more gear than Preston did.
But he had a roadie, I'm sure, Preston.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt. Yeah, he had his entourage. Singers. They're all from the same mold. They are.
Yep. The wife
I
would
know.
just sit there and go, "Hey, you brought it. You wrap it up. I don't know where it goes."
Yeah, that's what my wife does at all my gigs. She's like sitting there and goes, "Can you bring me another drink while he carries his equipment to the car?"
Now,
Yeah.
just since we're on that, I would like to say, and Geoff will attest to this, that my lovely fiance Sandra jumps right in there with both feet and both hands, and she knows how things get set up, how they get tore down, how they're packed away, and she is the best roadie. Not to mention the best looking roadie that anybody could want.
There you go. Thank you, Sandra.
Sandra's still new to the game, so give it a little bit longer, and pretty soon she's going to go, "You've got a show tonight?" "Yeah, I'm not going."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be out too late.
Give her another year. Yeah. Exactly.
Come in the door quietly. Don't wake me up.
Exactly. So what else? What else we want to talk about, Preston? You've had a long and distinguished history in music, and have you played with other bands besides Shadowlife? Obviously, you said you've been playing 35 years. What have you been doing with yourself for 35 years?
Well, I was with a band called Rebel Angels a long time ago. That was a country southern rock band. Tenfold was probably the one that we did the most playing with before Shadowlife. That's when we went out and we actually toured with Vanilla Ice for a little bit. We got on the Dayton After Dark compilation CD. We actually entered the Battle of the Bands contest to play at X Fest, the one that the big rainstorm or weather storm wiped out, and they had to do it in the Nutter Center.
Oh yeah.
And so that's basically, and then some garage band projects and stuff like that, and pretty much tried to stick with the rock thing. I like country. I like the newer country stuff, but and I can play it. I don't mind playing it, but it's hard to flip your hair around and all like that, playing Garth Brooks.
Yeah. And Garth, I've never seen his drum kit rotate 360 degrees in the air either. So
nope. And mine hasn't yet, but
no flare, but it's coming.
You
never know.
You never know.
You don't. So yeah, it sounds like you've had quite a past, and I love the fact that you're sticking to your genre you like, and you're playing that music, and you're not trying to be anybody you're not. I think that's cool as well. So many people obviously want to play to the room. They want to play to the audience that's out there, and yes, the audience is diminishing for 80s glam rock. I mean, I learned that when I do some of my things, and you're playing music that's not as popular with the crowd that's going out now than it used to be. So how do you resurrect all those old Shadowlife fans to come see you guys? Is that what you're going to do to try to make these shows happen, or are you going to try to get the new kids to love that old music?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both, just for the fact is that I've always gone around and said that, if you play for yourself, you're going to play for yourself. So you got to play for the other people also. I'd like to bring back some of the older fans, and the younger ones too, kind of get them interested in some of our old stuff. Basically, I'm out there to, play. I don't know how much time I have left to do it. I don't know how long the arm will hold out. I just want to get my last hurrahs in before I can't do it anymore.
I hear you.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yes. And, you've been through that tough surgery, and you'll either come back stronger than ever, or you're going to end up hurting every night after you play a show. So one way or the other, though, you're going to do it, it sounds like, and all that. It sounds like the door opened. So the appointment you're at is over, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, the sun is done.
And now you're going to start driving down the road again. So we'll hope we keep a signal here with Preston. Geoff, what else you got today for him? You know him better than I do. Come on.
Well, I think we pretty much hit on most everything that we'd wanted to talk about. And the purpose of having him on here is to talk about bringing talking about the new Shadow Life and how he's going to bring it back. Because I can tell you, playing out as much as I've been playing, that I get asked all the time, hey, when's Shadow Life playing again? Hey, when's Shadow Life playing again? Hey, when's Shadow Life playing again? So now that I can actually give them an answer and say, oh, it's coming back, you just need to get on their Facebook page and check it out, that this will definitely be a way to help promote that and get them going again. I know a lot of people are dying to see it.
Yeah, and actually I'm dying to do it, and it's gonna be a good time playing with some of the old guys again. Well, I was just about to make a comment that might give some stuff away, so I'm not even going to make that comment.
Yeah, good catch.
I love
Yeah.
the suspense here. I do. The suspense is just going to kill everybody because they want to know who's going to be in this band and where they can come see you. So when do you think this announcement might happen?
I think the announcement will probably be fairly soon about who the members are going to be. As far as the first show, I've actually been contacted by a few venues already saying, hey, when this thing gets up going, call me. So we'll definitely make it well known so that everybody can come out, because we're not planning on doing like the old Shadow Life and just playing an ungodly amount of shows per year. Getting kind of old for that. I have to get to bed early, get my beauty sleep and stuff. So we're gonna limit it to some shows a year. We're not gonna be doing the 40 and 50 shows. We're gonna try and keep a small number. Maybe some events or some special occasions. But so my big thing is if you see that Shadow Life is going to be playing somewhere, you might want to catch it, because there's not going to be an exorbitant amount of dates out there.
So in other words, go see them the minute you see
Yeah.
they're up there, because
Right.
these guys, they could be 2 or 3 weeks away from the nursing home or something. So
That's right. This will be like the Kiss farewell tour each year.
Yes, until we can't farewell no more. There we
That's
go.
right.
Yes, I hear you. And I've always enjoyed Shadow Life throughout the various times, and you've changed players and things like that as I've watched, and that happens in a band for sure. But one thing that always is consistent with them is you drew a good crowd and you brought the rock to the room, and I like that. And we need a lot more of that, the heart pounding music sometimes to get that crowd up and jumping and dancing and those kind of things. So I think that'll be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. And looking forward to mentioning the Shadow Life once in a while, which it's been pretty quiet lately.
It has been quiet. And I'll tell you what, I'll be anxious to come out and see you guys when you get it going again. I'd love to see it.
Well, the first show will be by invitation only, Geoff. So
all right.
So well, you're not invited.
I'll catch the second show, maybe.
Yeah.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. Geoff will come to the door. I'm on the list. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're like,
Sorry.
no.
Not this. Get out. That's funny. That's funny stuff. Preston, you're a funny man. I like chatting with you. Always enjoy it. And, so much to talk about in this world today and what's going on, and everybody doing their thing, trying to get back to playing music and getting out there and enjoying some live stuff, which seems to be there's light at the end of the tunnel, as we like to say.
That is true. And I will continue to go towards the light until I can't.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Just don't go too far into the light, all right? Yeah. We don't want that
to never
to
come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all seen the movies.
Yes. Well, who's buzzing? Is that you,
That
Geoff?
was me. I thought I turned it off earlier. Party foul.
Rookie.
I know.
Wow.
This is my first time doing this, right?
It's okay. Believe me, we've made it through this without glitching too many times, which is great.
I know.
Well, I don't know. Preston was the cause of a few glitches in there.
Preston, I would have expected nothing less.
Don't worry. I'll try to accentuate those in post-production.
I was going to say, no, heck, just exploit it.
Geoff is the best in post of making people look absolutely terrible. He does it all the time. Yeah, he is. So anything else new in the world? Press, how'd the orthodontist appointment go? Were they all right?
I'll just check. Ian, how was the orthodontist appointment? He said it was pretty good. He got the braces off and got got his retainer, and that is the last set of braces that I'm ever going to have to pay for, I hope.
Oh, yeah, that's like buying a car.
Wear the retainer.
Yes.
Better wear that retainer.
I've paid for 4 sets, and so that's enough.
Wow. Yeah,
Mercy.
I'd say so. Yeah, they'll have your name on the side of the orthodontist building.
Oh, yes. Well, as a matter of fact, this building here is also home of Mark Armstrong Dentistry, who is a proud sponsor of Shadowlife.
They sponsored Shadowlife.
So
how do you get a dentist to sponsor your band? That's what I want to know. How does that happen?
I grew up running the streets with him. And he came out to a few shows and said, I would like to sponsor you guys. And so it went from there.
That's awesome. Man, maybe I can find a guy, facelift doctor, to sponsor my show. I need it. Okay. I do. You got to pull this stuff back. You know? Yes. Oh goodness. That or Dr. Lipo or something to get rid of my Tuma here. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't even drink beer. I don't know where the beer gut came from, but you know, if somebody's got any ideas for that other than exercise, I'm willing to listen.
I know exactly where it comes from. You're a musician, okay? Taco Bell is the devil at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, you know what? The drummer's always playing sitting down, so maybe that's the problem.
Well, here comes that diva thing again.
Wow, shall we go to
I got to spend all night up running around.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Let's give Geoff what Geoff deserves.
Yeah.
Right there. All right. That's Geoff. All right.
Was it I'll take my both arms, both hands, both feet all moving at the same time with you moving your lips and fingers.
That's right.
Right here. Lead singer stance.
And on that note,
I will say I do have a lot of respect for him and all frontmen out there, because I've gone out there and I've tried to do it before without playing, and I'm standing there and I have no idea what to do or what's going on.
It goes like this. What am I supposed to do with my
Yeah. So I do have a lot of respect for him on that, because I have tried that on a couple shows and not for me.
It is different. And it's the same thing with you being behind the kit. You know, I can play drums, but then you try to play and sing at the same time. Forget it. It's not happening. Something's stopping.
Mine doesn't work that way, does it?
Takes a lot of work. Well, Preston, I got to say, go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just going to say, he was talking about using your hands. I have a friend who does a radio show, and he literally put these on his chair, these Velcro clamps that he's clamped his hands down because he talked like this all the time. So he puts his arms on the chairs and Velcros his hands to it. But he'd probably make a good drummer because he could talk and move his hands faster than anybody I do. Geoff can't do that. I've seen that. He's tried that.
It is one thing that is weird. Singing and playing is not as hard as people think it is. The one thing that I found is rather difficult is when you're playing a beat and you talk to the crowd in the middle of a song or whatever like that. You find yourself almost talking in beat with what you're playing. Whereas when you're singing, you know, that's okay. But, you know, when you're having a conversation with the audience or something like that while you're playing, you don't want to talk in rhythm. That gets a little difficult.
So on that note, we're going to wrap it up for the day. How's that sound?
Everybody sit your seat backs up, put your tray tables back to their locked positions.
Captain Preston is going to land this aircraft right
Landing gear down. Hey, like I said, flying's the easy part. It's the landing that's the problem.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. Well, Preston, thanks, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Look forward to hearing about Shadowlife and all the upcoming events and things you're going to be doing, and the big announcement of who's going to be in the band. So,
well, I will keep you posted.
And as always, we'll put all the links below. And that way you can go out and find out what's going on with Shadowlife in the near future and go out and follow them and like them. And, of course, always go and like our pages and our Instagrams and our YouTube channels and everything. So hit the thumbs up and the likes and the comments and shares and everything.
We appreciate it.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
subscribe so you can find out what's coming up next.
Yes.
But Preston, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. Glad you got to come on and have a little chat with us.
Well, thank you for having me on.
All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you.
But you know what? I am always good for first of anything.